Whitlock, did the Giants prove maybe they should move on from Odell Beckham?
Listen, man, this is going to be very offensive to Greg Jennings, but wide receivers just don't matter. And
what?
They just
goodness!
Again, these
I didn't think you were going to go that far.
diva wide receivers don't matter. Again, very good wide receivers that aren't a headache, that aren't a distraction for your team, aren't a distraction for your quarterback. I get it. But the last diva wide receiver, and I love this dude to death, to win a Super Bowl was Michael Irvin. I've thought it all the way through. Again, there have been very outstanding wide receivers that have helped teams win championships. But when you're the kind of headache that Odell is, they shouldn't give him the contract, and they should trade him and move on. This was a non-distracted football team that put on their best performance of the year. They should learn a lesson from that.
Well, I think wide receivers have value. J.J. Watt's got value. I'm not paying him quarterback money. Don't confuse popular, which wide receivers generally are, because they're often the best athletes. They make spectacular plays. They beat the corner down the side. They're the home run hitters. People love wide receivers.
Thank you.
But don't confuse popular with productive. Here's the Giants. This is very interesting. With or without Odell Beckham, nobody disputes his talent. It's mostly the same football team. Now,
that screams? Doesn't matter. That's what that screams to me.
To me, it screams slightly better with him, not build my team around him. Come on, man, this is a salary cap league. Everybody's got a budget. I'll upgrade my kitchen. That's my quarterback. How much are bathrooms worth? It's not worth that much money.
To me, but I get your point.
Okay, what do you say? What say you?
Okay. Should they move on? Absolutely not. No. Is he worth every penny? I think so. Now, does he make them a better team? Simple question, does he make them a better team? Yes, he does.
In your opinion?
No, he makes them the statistics just showed us he makes them a better team.
Inches, not feet.
Nope, I didn't say how much of a better team. Does he make them a better team? Yes. With him on the field, it's not just about his personal production. It's what he provides to the defender, to a defensive coordinator in their preparation. With him not being out there, you saw a Giants team last night that, quite frankly, had nothing to lose. They went into Denver, they went into Mile High and just, you know what, guys? We're playing with house money.
What did they have to lose at 0-4?
We're playing with house money.
With Odell.
You know what they're playing with? No distractions.
Harmony.
Thank you. Yes, it was about the entire team, not one guy, and that's why they won.
And you know what? We talked about this before. What would Belichick do? You talked about New England before. Okay, I don't think he would ever have that diva wide receiver because it is a distraction. It really is. I've played with guys that become that distraction. They're enormous faces of our franchise. I'm not going to name names. But it becomes a distraction. When you're in the locker room and you're with that guy over there and he's going crazy because he's not getting enough catches, he's not getting enough carries, or whatever
Larry
it is.
Johnson in Kansas City.
I wasn't going to say that, but it becomes something as a teammate that you're thinking about. As a quarterback, Eli Manning probably he was probably so cool and comfortable going into that game, and the offense just floated, just looked better. I think other players get an opportunity to step up because he's going to demand a $18 million, $20 million price tag. And if the stats show that it's not that big of an improvement when you're there and what you bring to the table, yes, you bring that amazing athleticism, but then you also bring, you're throwing your helmet, you're throwing the water ball, you're getting punched in the face by the net. You got to move on. I would say, if that was me, my organization, I'm moving on. I'd be like, okay, we'll trade you or something.
Go look at Super Bowl Giants teams. They all have something in common. They generally have a great coach, Parcells Coughlin, and they have a really good defensive front. They're built for cold weather. It's the hardest stadium in the league to throw the ball. It's windy, it's cold. The vertical passing game shrinks in this league in December and in January.
It's another good point.
I like you guys. I'm not saying you're not worth money. But
oh my God.
A lot of you guys want...
The best case don't need icing. And, I'm starting to believe you. Wide receivers are icing.
Are you offended by that?
I'm not even offended by it. I'm appalled at the fact that
it goes deep.
It does. Tony, are you kidding me? I'm throwing this. Are you kidding me right now?
With what?
With the fact when you have a guy that brings this much to the table. And when we talk about distractions, let's put this in perspective. He is not a distraction when it comes to off-the-field issues that we see that are true distractions.
He's worse. He's a distraction on the field.
We're talking about a guy who's just passionate about playing the game, who wants the ball. Jerry Rice might have been the most dogmatic receiver in our history. Going up to Steve Young, we didn't have social media to talk about it, to blast it everywhere, and we didn't have the media wasn't blasting it everywhere.
Yeah, but now we do, so
exactly.
you have to account for it.
And I was the same way, though, Greg. I mean, if I wasn't getting the ball, I'm upset.
Exactly.
I'm real upset. Even if we won the game and I only had 2 catches, I'll be upset, but I just think the way he goes about and he carries himself, that becomes a distraction. You can't deny that.
And maybe this injury is what he needed.
No.
Sometimes when you're sidelined, it allows you to self-assess and self-reflect. Maybe this is maybe he comes back a different player.
Okay, so will he come back and say, I want $7 million, not 28?
He'll be the type of wide receiver that'll be on TV in a double-breasted suit when everybody else is dressed appropriately.